All right, and welcome. Yeah, it just started. Welcome into the company. It is April 29th. Another month is going on. April 29th, 2019. And we are back with you for another live show. Welcome in everybody who's joining us for the first time. Welcome the ones who've been in here before. Sorry about what we did last time.
Wait, what?
You got a panel down here. Of course, we got Sosa, Jason, Izzo, and Rich, and I'm Brian. And we did a really serious show last week.
Man, I know y'all was bored.
It was kind of a downer, but we're gonna try to be a little bit lighthearted tonight, even though we did lose a pioneer in the entertainment business. Writer, director, composer, artist, actor, pretty much everything. Yeah, legend, man, an icon. John Singleton passed away after a very serious stroke he had a few days ago. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm one of those people that I talk shit about because I posted he died way too early.
Yep. Way to predict it, dickhead.
yeah, I feel bad. I try not to be that guy, but unfortunately, it does happen. So, yeah, John Singleton, man. Anybody want to say something real quick when I put my headphones in that I forgot to do?
Shit, that's like
I want to hear Sosa go.
That's to me your coming of age is high school, and I mean he put out some movies during that period. So, and even though there's some movies that he didn't put out, we were just talking about Juice. I mean, it's intertwined with.
But do you think? Will you think there would be a Juice without a Boys in the Hood though?
Nope.
I don't think so either. Even though it was literally could have been filmed near the same time, but I don't think it would have probably got greenlit as well.
And
or got money.
If we're gonna be honest, like the Hispanic movies that I don't want to say spun off of it, but that took that wave, they wouldn't have came out neither.
Tell me what you're talking about. What Hispanic movie?
American Me.
What's that?
Nobody really knows about it. It was the Mexican mafia. It was actually based on history, but that came off, in my opinion, that came out because of movies like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, etc. Blood In, Blood Out. That's another one. So those hood movies, those ethnic hood movies, I don't think without Mr. Singleton, a lot of those wouldn't have come out.
We got to make the clarification that we're not talking about like state property. We talking
no. Thank you, Richard.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not going to clown state property.
Yeah, I'm just.
I'm not going to clown it, but I'm not going to put it on that level either.
Right. We're talking about the movies that are about the confines of the being in that situation. Yeah.
No,
it wasn't glorifying any of the negative aspects of being in that environment that they were in. It was just life at that point.
Right.
If something violent happened, that means it just happened. They were that during that time, man. During like boys in the
wow, there we go.
It was just this time block of just movies that were just about living in the neighborhoods that we lived in. And I think that John Singleton and Spike Lee and all these guys kind of played off each other. So in one aspect, there couldn't have been one without the other, but then there couldn't have been that movie without the movie previous.
Right.
So it was like they all needed each other to exist and make the movies that they made.
And it was good, healthy competition.
Right.
If there was a competition, you know what I mean? And young, 51. What the fuck, man?
Right.
Man. That's scary part, man. The older you get, you just die in a natural shit. Like when we were young, you get shot doing something stupid, you go to get locked up, cops beat you up, whatever. But now it's just like you dying from real shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a blockage in my left artery. What?
Yeah, that's real stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. For me, with him, like for me, I remember NWA in the late 80s, and you saw the videos, and it was like I didn't connect to it because to me it just felt far-fetched. I know it wasn't now being grown, but I grew up on a military base from mid-'80s to early 90s. I didn't see nothing. It was literally like almost like the suburbs, just people come and go. You walk to school, thing is all peachy. But then even saw colors, it kind of looked weird. I was confused. I'm like, this feels fake. But then once I saw Boys in the Hood in the early 90s, I said, oh,
somebody gets it.
Yeah, like I understand it now. I understand what goes on out in LA, and that was right before the riots. Right before the riots, and then I really got it. Like it made more sense when the riots happened. Like what the hell goes on there? To where I understood as soon as it happened, I understood what those people go through, literally because of that movie. So that was real interesting. Real interesting.
I ain't gonna lie now. He introduced me to some of the baddest women I've ever seen in movies.
Man.
I mean, come on. He had everybody. Janet was in Poetic Justice.
Yep.
Right.
Regina King. Nobody thought she could act before then since Penny.
Once again, Pac ruled that movie. Everybody else could have been better. I like Regina King in that movie, but what's up, Joe Torre? And Janet did not excite me in that movie.
Nah, they was bit players,
Yeah, well, Janet, had a lot of
Pac. But Pac
whipped his ass out there and threw his brush out.
What you gonna do now, Chicago?
Cousin.
You see, these are movies that you see, it's what almost 30 years since that movie was made, and we still quoting stuff like we just saw it. Because the movie was a classic. They were probably hood when we saw it, but now it's like, okay, I understand. They're not a classic.
Yeah, I'll sit there and watch it. It's nostalgic to sit and watch those movies now.
Because it wasn't bad acting. It wasn't. I mean, we brought it up in the pregame. It wasn't. I'm about it. It wasn't.
I'm about it.
Fucking cell phone movie or whatever the fuck.
I got the hookup.
Yeah, that bullshit.
Oh yeah,
you know what was dope? What was dope about the movies that John Singleton made and produced and directed is that each of the lives that he put into these movies could have just easily been our life. There wasn't anybody overly lavish driving cars we couldn't afford.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, like you said, in Poetic Justice, they drove across the country in a mail truck.
Yeah.
And Boys in the Hood, they walked around everywhere they went. And nobody had a car.
Well, Cube had a car, but
did Cube have a car?
He was Cube had a car. The gold
one. Okay. But it wasn't.
No, that shit was decked out because he was a dope dealer.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just, we saw, and I know people who probably grew up in the inner city saw more of themselves than I did because I grew up in the country.
Yeah.
But you did kind of see yourself in the characters. It was like, I could easily be this guy. He's not doing anything that I can't do.
Yeah.
So when something bad happened to him, we kind of felt it because, oh, holy shit, that could have been me.
Oh yeah.
Right. I like I said, as a huge blow to the industry, I think he had a lot more things he could have been doing. Wasn't he doing what's the name of the show he was producing?
Snowfall. That's like
I haven't watched it.
I gotta watch that.
2 seasons. It's only about 20 episodes, but it's a quick watch.
What service is it on?
It's FX. I think you could download the app to like a streaming. You have Roku, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to download the FX app. I don't know if you have to have cable to be able to stream it, but if not, you should be able to find it maybe on Hulu or something like that too.
Okay, I'll check it out.
It's excellent.
Or you could do the Fire Stick like Brian does.
No, calm down. You're trying to get people locked up.
What are you talking about? Brian is not what?
So we gonna start calling Sosa Chicago for that snitching.
But real talk, man, I don't know if it was big in y'all's life, but higher learning was humongous.
It was.
That was college age for me.
It was crazy. Well, I mean, you old as fuck, but
Franks and beans.
But that was intense, man. I think that higher learning was crazy. And and I can't tell you how many people tried to clown me talking about, all right, you ain't gonna be a Remy, are you?
Right. Oh wow!
I hate the Michael
Rappaport still out here.
I can't stand that he took that role because that's not him at all.
No, isn't he married to
He's not, but he acted his ass off for that role.
He did.
That's the thing. Weird. Have you ever seen like anytime like you have a comedian play in a drama? It's like they do some epic shit,
like Jamie Foxx.
Right. Exactly.
He did, right? And we knew him. We just saw him as a singer. Finally, he got that to pop off, but we remember him from stand up and one the show. And then Ray came out. It's like the fuck.
Yeah. He did Zebrahead before he did Higher Learning.
Yeah, I saw it in Zebrahead recently about Zebrahead.
I don't know, but anyway.
I kind of blame John Singleton for Michael Rappaport.
I don't have a problem with Michael Rappaport. He just talks too much at times.
How do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, I love his love for hip hop, so that's why I like him.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
He did the Tribe Called Quest documentary.
That's what. Yeah, I'm confused by your comment.
Brian, you must explain yourself.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm fucking with you.
No.
It's like he's too much. Like I like his love for hip hop. No, listen. I like his love for hip hop, but he just talks too much. There's a lot of stuff that people talk about that they probably need to shut the fuck up about.
Oh yeah,
there's some things he probably needs to shut up about.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, but like I said, I love his thing for hip hop, but I blame them for making this dude feel like you know what. I have more problem with Gary Owen than I do Michael Rappaport.
Really?
I do too.
They don't bother me.
I could see that argument. I could see that.
I can.
What does Gary Owen do? I want to know, just so I'll understand.
Yeah, what don't you like about what they saying? What are they saying? You don't.
I don't. Well, Gary Owen, I don't like the whole black voice thing he does. It's offensive, and I think that's what he thinks that how all black people sound. And it's kind of like a minstrel tap dancing thing that he does, and I can't stand it.
I didn't hear that.
It bothers the hell out of me.
I don't know if I go that far, but okay.
Yeah, it is. I can't stand it. It bothers the shit out of me.
Wow.
Hey, Gary Owens, you ain't coming on our fucking show, motherfucker.
Yeah, so
he has a pretty.
I have a problem with Gary Owen. I have more of a problem with him than I do Michael Rappaport. I really.
He got a black wife with mixed kids, don't
he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I don't know. Maybe
and that thing he did something recently. Gary Owen did something recently. And he said something about, I wish I had a black person here so they could say N-word for me because that N-word went off.
I remember thinking that on a show, on a podcast. I'm not gonna lie, low key, I was like, I got it. It didn't bother me.
I got what he was doing with that, but it's kind of like,
but
you're pushing the envelope.
At least he was respectful enough not to say the word, right? Or not even.
Why even think it? Why even have to need that?
I mean,
I
agree, but it's kind of
anybody can use the word, black folk, white folk, anybody. But I'm just saying, at least he didn't use the word. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of white guys or Spanish guys or either Asian dudes that are married to a black woman with black kids or anything like that feel like they can say certain things like that.
I'm just
at least he's respectful enough to know that he shouldn't be saying it.
Exactly. It's like what was it that one time, Jason? You said that you were listening to one of Mobb Deep's album, and Lance rolled up.
And what now?
No, I was at Lance's dorm. I was picking him up. We was about to go somewhere. I don't remember, but back then, like Mobb Deep was my shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had on. I was sitting in the whip. This is crazy. This will tell you how country and just out I am. I had like 4 8s in the trunk, and that shit was bumping as hard as it could bump. And I mean, I can't even say the song because I'm white.
Because it was kill that nigga. Yeah, just kill that nigga.
And so I got all 4 windows rolled down with my 4 8s just thumping. And Mobb Deep and Lance walks up. He goes to get in the car. He was like, Jay, I don't even know what to do right now. And that's where we're going to end that story. I will go ahead. I think he did make a few comments. Like once we got in and started rolling, he was like, "So, I mean, you ain't about to like take me out in the woods or nothing, right?" I was like, "Bro, we family. I ain't."
That's dope.
I also messed around. I was I rode through Martin Luther King
Park.
Martin Luther King Park. I rode through there one day when I was just riding around because I was trying to learn Colombia and everything at that point. I was by myself, all the windows down, and I was listening to dang, what was it? Most Def. The song is like I want my people to be free, to be free. Want black people to be free, to be free. It was bumping so hard. And I put up like a stop sign or something like that. And these black folks started looking at me. And I was like, what y'all looking at, bro? You know how I am. I get offensive, right? I was like, who you looking at? And I realized what, the scene of everything. And I was like, what damn? I was just listening to a dope song.
All right, biggest miss from John Singleton.
Oh, you really transitioned back. You really brought that.
That's the one.
He was like,
I was biting his tongue. He wanted to call me Greg Owen just now.
I did not.
Greg Owen? Who is that?
Whatever his name is.
Gary Owen's cousin.
Gary Owen.
Yeah, right. His cousin.
Same thing.
I think biggest miss was Woo.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst.
What was that now?
Woo. I think that's the worst thing he's done.
What? Woo. That was the Jada Pinkett movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wish I had
was
his
bad.
filmography right here.
That was bad.
For me, it's Hustle and Flow. I didn't like that movie.
That was his shit. Oh, hell no! Fuck that movie, man.
He was the producer of that one.
Other people didn't bother me. It was freaking Terrence Howard.
That shit was terrible.
He produced.
You want to talk about offensive?
I'm just saying produce.
Okay.
You want to talk about offensive? The way Brian was talking about, he felt some sort of way about Gary Owen. I felt some sort of way at his attempt to be Southern.
Oh yeah,
man, it drove me. I was like, bro, I was like, dude, if you don't shut up, man, you hear me, man?
Oh my God, stop! Wait, I gotta hold on. Well, y'all can go ahead. I think I found something. This is it. No, keep talking. I think.
What to say?
Wait, he directed
Black Snake Moan. I didn't know that.
No, he directed.
I did like Black Snake Moan.
Never seen it.
No,
can't say.
Black Snake Moan was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
the soundtrack was dope.
Y'all heard that, right?
He also produced that though.
Yeah, he directed.
What'd you say, Izzo?
Directed Remember the Time video.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Interesting.
Yeah, he was uncredited for that.
Yeah, I saw some on Instagram where he had Mike and two other. I guess he did direct videos. So
I'm looking here. Four Brothers too, man. Four Brothers was dope.
I remember going to see.
He did that shit.
Yeah, that was his. Now he directed that one.
Yeah,
it was messed up the way they called old boy Cracker Jack. And then Mark Wahlberg in that one, he acted like he wasn't white.
Yeah, that was weird.
The other white brother that acted like he wasn't white.
Detroit.
That's Mark. He always he had like that in all his movies.
But I mean,
person in all his movies.
I thought it was interesting though because you had in that scenario you had two white guys and you had one that was so
punk rocker.
Yeah, like just like really white, and then the other white guy was just someone that was so I just remember that dude race so much that he didn't really pay attention to what he was saying.
Friday Night Lights. The one that got killed, he was in Friday Night Lights literally the year before that.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was
about that with Four Brothers, man. It was written so well, you could actually picture those guys growing up in the house together.
Yeah. Exactly. Good point.
It's like they didn't seem like they were detached.
Wow, yeah.
Like they were different, but they were still.
That's when Tyrese was killing it. Like Tyrese, you be like, God,
man, why did you turn so? When did he turn so corny, man?
When he started playing that same role in Fast and the Furious, every single one.
Yeah, angry black man, scared angry black man.
Well, not really angry, more scared and trying to be funny, like the player type. Like he turned into the role that everybody could clown.
Oh yeah,
get typecasted. So that's what happens.
I mean, that's a big change from Baby Boy.
Oh my God, baby.
You had my son. You probably gonna be my wife.
Fuck your fort.
What?
Fuck your fort, little nigga.
I did that.
No, that was Snoop.
Hey, when Snoop, hey, listen, when Snoop kicked that fort over, he became the baddest villain in movie history.
Bro, did you see? Wait, if you go back and look at the video clip of him and swimming in that tank top, you would never think of him as a villain. Never think of him as a villain. He had on like an extra small tank top that was like down to his knees.
And it was a wife beater. I'm like, how are you not fitting in this wife beater right now?
Wife beat.
He awkward, man.
Oh man. That
But
was
yeah, I think he should be up there whenever anybody talks about who's the baddest villain in a movie. They need Snoop picture up there because ain't none of them villains kicked over a kid's fort.
He did pull up in the girls trying to shoot niggas. He did. He really did.
Yeah.
I'd be damned if I ever be scared of somebody look like Snoop, man. Especially not in that movie. That was
gotta be scared. Just be aware that people as small as Snoop don't fight fair.
No. I guess he forgot murder was the case so fast.
Right. Murder was the case.
that song was a song, but that was the thing.
Yeah.
I'm innocent.
No. Oh no.
Nah, no more.
Well, Snoop was the 90s was hard for Snoop. He was scared the whole time.
Man.
They said right after murder the case, he changed his life. They said that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. They said that was done once he got off.
Maybe the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Baby Boy, Shaft, Rosewood. Rosewood was one of the trigger movies.
Rosewood.
I actually missed that one.
You haven't seen Rosewood?
I haven't seen Rosewood.
I have a problem with Rosewood. I watched it and then I read up on it. There's way more killing in that movie than what actually happened. None of it should have happened, but it glorified in a way. And I kind of like, yeah. But I mean, it's not all directors what's written, but yeah.
I'm sure they had to cut a lot out of that movie, man, or the script.
Mm-hmm.
I was counting all the deaths I saw versus what I read about. I'm like, yeah, I saw on the screen. It was rough.
Nah, man.
You said more happened in the movie than it did in the book?
Vice versa.
No. More happened in the movie than in real life. Like the story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But as you watch, the action scenes were like a lot of action scenes where a lot of killing would happen, unless the people just got shot and didn't die. But
no, I thought it was okay. My bad.
Yeah, and like I said, he just kept the baddest one. Lisa Neal was in that movie.
Oh yeah, Lisa Neal still look good. She in her early 50s.
Yeah, so he kept the bad one on deck. And it was ones that he already knew from the movies in the 90s. He's like, you know what, we need you again. We need you again. We don't have anybody. Yeah, but like I said, we suffered a great loss. Hopefully, somebody will pick up the torch and start doing the things that he was doing before, and without missing a beat. But
what about like Ryan Coogler's out here?
Spike Lee's still working.
Antoine Fuqua.
Yeah, and you know what? To be honest with you, next generation, we still got Childish Gambino and Key and Peele, or Peele at least.
Yeah.
So they doing the same stuff,
man. And Peele ain't that much younger.
Oh, he's not, is he?
No,
he's been doing it for a while.
He's been doing this for forever, man.
Yeah, he was on Mad TV.
Yep. Yeah. He's just now getting that big budget.
Yeah.
Good shit.
And, you know,
I mean, not good shit, but you know.
Yeah, well, you start making the movies like that, then the studios allow you more liberty. So he'll pick up bigger names and stuff, bigger projects, like he's doing Candyman.
Off topic, but still on topic. Was that post y'all put earlier about Peebo? Was that legit?
Was on Peebo Bryson?
Yeah.
What's about the heart attack? Was he one that had a heart attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that a couple times a day.
Okay, so that's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is legit.
Mm-hmm. So, prayers for Peebo.
It's kind of weird, not to throw this totally off, but it's kind of weird how I can't say urban. I hate that word, but let's say in a black circle, he listens to black music and the black thing. Like we can all talk about Peebo Bryson. We know what we're talking about. If you step anywhere outside of that, somebody will stare at you with a blank face.
Well, I mean, that's vice versa too. So,
but I can't say for other minorities, but I think like once all of us minorities and I can't say minorities. Let's say people who are not like so in tune with the pop culture, but I could still know who some other random, let's say, white singer or white actress is. I think it's weird like that.
I mean, it's.
I don't know. I think I'm not explaining it right.
No, you are explaining it right.
I feel like I know pretty much everything in pop culture, even in subcultures, everything else mainstream, but yet like somebody will look at me like, who's that? Like I don't even understand.
Right.
It happened to me at work all the time when I'll mention somebody. Mm-hmm. Like if I go Freddie Jackson to a random 30-year-old white person, they'll go, who?
Hey, listen, most of the time, if somebody sits there and they says, who? I don't know what you're talking about. They're lying, fucking lying. A lot of people don't want what? And that goes, and that's on both, that's on all races. I'm not putting this on one race. It's on everybody. They don't want everybody to know that they're as well-rounded as they should be.
Oh, see, that's something I will do.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like entertaining conversations about stuff that they're not supposed to be entertaining conversations about. It's like messing with an ugly girl. No, I ain't did that. But
whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Chicago.
Brian, low-key confessions on the low. Stop.
No. It's not a confession. No.
Sure it isn't.
Well, no. Brian,
you spoke that
discrimination.
I'm making a comparison of how people avoid conversations about stuff outside of their wheelhouse when they are very much enlightened on the subject.
I'm about to say, you talk about Johnny Cash. I look at you like, no, I'm cool. I know who that is, but I'm good.
Like, when you mentioned Peebo Bryson, I was like, yeah, but in a sense, people outside of outside of this demographic, they know who he is. What's going on?
So it's like playing basketball.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If it ain't that, I'm just waiting for the dogs to come in.
Oh no, I'm not at my house today.
Oh, okay. So no, man, it's like someone might know who Peebo Bryson is outside of this demographic because he sung "Beauty and the Beast" with Celine Dion.
Oh shit, that is right. I forgot about that.
So I mean,
that is right. Damn.
So I mean that might give him that one crossover edge right there.
Oh.
I don't know, man. I don't understand the idea of pigeonholing yourself into anything. I think you should be as cultured and open to so much stuff as possible.
That's like somebody I know went to the Weezer concert a couple weeks back, and they're like, "You like Weezer?" I'm like, "Yes." Like, why are you? Why? Just because I'm black, I can't like Weezer? Fuck out of here.
That's what I'm talking about. That don't make no sense to me.
Because they were just at the show because they worked it, and they were like, "Oh, I'll record some stuff." I'm like, "Cool."
She's like, "No, this is." You said Weezer. I thought it was the Weezy concert. let me leave.
I didn't know people was from Greenville. The more you know. Grew up in Malden. Isn't that crazy?
Malden.
Mm-hmm.
The mean streets of Malden.
That is a negative.
All right. I think we done beat the John Singleton topic to death. Y'all talking about Weezer. All right. So Avengers came out, and don't worry, anybody who's watching, we're not about to spoil this movie because all of us have not seen it yet.
But I seen it.
I ain't seen it.
I seen it.
Oh, so see, 3 people haven't seen it,
which is the topic. Spoiling a movie.
So if 3 people ain't seen it in here, that means we're in the majority. Just saying.
So that's all right. Sometimes the minorities can mess things up.
Like I said, it came out last weekend, made $1.2 billion over
Jesus
the weekend.
Christ.
Over that now.
Now that's worldwide, by the way. That's not.
Yeah. It did like 400,000 or 400 million or something here.
350 million, which is nuts. Because if you think about it, that like Civil War did that. Basically, did double Civil War's weekend in one shot.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Is that the most ever in a weekend?
Yes. Oh, Yeah, it smashed any other record.
Oh yeah, we knew that was gonna happen.
I mean, like they're calling for this movie to probably outdo Avatar. With the worldwide gross. Yeah, because I mean, even if the movie, because like I was just looking around just to see if I could get to see a second screening, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's sensory overload.
Yeah, man.
Especially that last hour.
Yeah, hey.
But I mean,
He didn't say nothing.
I ain't saying nothing. It's just, but it's.
I don't want to look for prepare myself. Is this the last hour? Is this the last hour?
You'll know
it. Your watch.
Trust me, you will know it when you see it. But that last act of the movie is so much to where you just want to experience that again.
Yeah, right.
And I was looking to see if I could find a screening for it, and it's still sold out this weekend.
Man.
So I'm gonna be honest, man. Like if you're trying to see this movie, you probably got to wait until next week to see it during the week. But man,
I'm gonna see it during the week.
Even if the number of screens drops off 50% between now and next week, it's still going to make 600 million worldwide, more than likely.
Man.
Well, see, some theaters got smart and they're just running it 24 hours.
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think here.
You know, we don't have shit special.
Right.
We ain't.
Everything closes at 9 o'clock.
You got that right. You're
but Avatar box office, what, 2.7? It's 2.7, something like that.
Keyword.
And then, so even if it does, then Avatar 2 is supposed to be out in 2020.
I think people tired of waiting on that, though.
I mean,
that's like waiting for Detox.
I have no desire. I've never seen that before.
You never saw the first one, bro?
I'm gonna be honest, man, but like, I mean, I don't know. This is like,
I mean, I'm gonna see it.
For me, it was the only reason why you talking about what Avatar?
Yeah.
The only reason why I didn't see Avatar because I already knew what the movie was about.
Okay.
I mean, so that was really
spoiled for you already.
Yeah, I mean,
but the Avatar as a movie was not necessary. I mean, it was about the storyline and everything because it wouldn't be a movie if not. But it was also a lot about how they put all the special effects and everything together too.
Oh yeah, no, it's like it was like probably the first 3D like legit started the 3D movie trend. I mean, and that's impressive, but
I didn't really expect them to come out with Avatar 2, but
I mean, you know, money.
So that's there's actually what three more movies? Two more movies?
Two more movies.
It just kind of seemed like that would have been a one and done.
It probably should have been a one and done, but you know, reasons and money. When if you got the highest grossing movie of all time, it just makes sense
for now
to do it. I mean,
for now, that shit is over.
Oh yeah, I was about to say yeah. Infinity War is
going. People have an emotional attachment to Avatar. Like, who do you go like Avatar? Nobody.
Not anymore. I mean, think about it when it came out though. People were actually like killing themselves because they wanted to live in this land.
I was in a. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see. I've seen that movie before, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
People talk about
Avatar.
So wait, Rich, I don't understand. Have you seen Avatar or not?
No, I haven't seen it. But but pretty much you know the storyline and how that movie plays out. Just replace blue with black and we're good.
I ain't seen the shit either.
Wait,
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not.
What you're saying.
I mean,
I've heard that theory many times too.
So I mean, it's not saying it's
colonization.
bad. I mean, I'm sure it's a work of art, and at some point I'm going to go see it. Just
gonna go
where?
Because it's part of the pop culture zeitgeist. But
where are you gonna go see it at? In your living room?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean.
Hey, I got it on Blu-ray, bro. Look, Bo, you can borrow it.
Hey, Bo.
It's like I got a Google Play credit for like $1.50 to watch a movie, so I just use that for that. I'm good.
Or how to be a player.
Well, fuck you too, Rich.
How to be a player?
What's so harsh, Jason?
He said it and then drank his drink.
How to be a player had nudity, I'd watch it.
That was a trash movie.
It could have been good.
Could have been.
Ain't How to Be a Player one of the ones they made into a series or something? Something they made into a series.
They make so much
Boomerang
garbage in the series.
I saw
Boomerang is a series.
It was okay. I haven't finished watching it. It wasn't bad.
Spoiling fucking movies.
So yeah, man.
Any movie.
Well, I don't see the point or why people feel like they need to be the first person to put up a review of a movie, knowing that like they saw it the first hour it was in the theater.
I don't know, man, because it just seems like to do that kind of tactic just seems like you're just intentionally trying to be a dick.
Yeah, and that's
because I mean, well, so that happened. I forgot what happened, but someone actually got like I think at the end of the movie they actually like spurted out one of the big plot elements of the movie.
Oh no!
And they got leveled in the middle of the theater.
Yeah,
and I mean, and the thing is, man, you got to remember, like this is 10 years
in the make
of story building that's come to this point, and you're telling me that you're just gonna go destroy people. That's wrong. I mean, if it's accidental, that's one thing, but when you do that, that's just
no.
Yeah, that you don't play that. Because
now, if you tell me the ending of Dark Phoenix, I don't give a fuck.
I mean,
but if you tell me the ending of this shit, oh no, we fighting. I got bail money. We fighting.
Yeah, that's just wrong. I mean, there's so much good here, and Marvel did a really wonderful job. I think this is the best possible ending of this story that you probably could get, and it seems somewhat realistic.
All right, he's teeter-tottering, guys.
I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm not gonna say nothing else.
Just go ahead and jump off the gas.
But
I side-eyed my camera just now.
But nah, man. No, but seriously, man, y'all need to hurry up and see this so we can talk about it. Because it is great. But spoiler, man, like I'm trying to think of all the examples of like stuff I've recently
think about it.
Like who have actually gone through and like spoiled movies like this. Like what was it? Who was the running back that just he was trending on Twitter?
I don't know.
Oh, I missed that.
I know who you're talking about, but I didn't pay attention to it.
Eric Dickerson.
No, too late, too old.
Oh, okay.
He's a current player.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
Todd Gurley.
Oh, LaShawn McCoy.
You just calling out names, Izzo?
Yeah.
Right.
LaShawn McCoy. He spoiled the ending of the movie, and pretty much Twitter ethered him after that.
Good.
Man. Me and Brian was sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings. Remember we was at Buffalo Wild Wings? And Creed was about to come out. We gonna go watch it this weekend. And a bum ass bartender started fucking talking about it.
Oh yeah.
You motherfucker.
So pretty much told the dude to go to hell or something. He said something to the dude.
All right, so like what I guess does spoiling a movie for you actually make the experience terrible? Or
it does for me, because when you do something like, if I'm going to watch a movie and you say, hey, wait until this part, this is dope, blah blah blah, then that whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm waiting for that part instead of paying attention to what I'm supposed to be paying attention to in the movie. So now, it makes me super alert to certain things when I'm supposed to be paying attention to other things.
Maybe
when that part happens, it doesn't even surprise me because I knew it was going to happen.
Well, I mean, just because let me say it like this. There's two ways to look at it. Maybe that's like, hey, that's a good place before that part comes up. That's a pee break.
Then you got a weak ass
pee breaks. I want to be in the movie. Yeah, that's why I don't. That's the whole thing when people were talking about, hey, the movie was good, especially blah blah blah. I can't stand that.
Oh no, you don't do that. Like you could talk about maybe how you felt about it, and you can talk about the organization of like just how people acted or their portrayal of a character, but you can't go into plot details because, like you said, it destroys a person's movie-going experience. I mean, that's not.
Don't talk to me about it if I ain't seen it yet and want to see it.
Especially if you've been waiting for 10 years for this to wrap up. I mean, that's wrong.
I had this dude that I worked with. He went and saw it, and he came back the next morning. And he was like, "So I really want to talk to somebody. Please tell me you watched it." And I was like, "Nah, I ain't seen it yet." And he was literally like pacing back and forth, because you could tell how like anxious he was to talk to somebody about it. He was like, I really want to talk to you, man. I really want to tell you about this. I really want to. I just want to say one little piece. And I was like,
he looked like Hulk and Ragnarok in that scene where he's pacing back and forth like a toddler, like.
But see, my thing is, I had to do that with Game of Thrones. Yeah, I watched Game of Thrones.
You can spoil that for me because I've.
But yeah, and that's for you though. But I mean, if we're doing, it's like the last season. Every episode's like an hour and a half. If you miss it and you accidentally get on Facebook and everybody's putting up memes and
I think
spoilers and sneaks and all, and it's like, don't do that. You don't know who hadn't seen it.
All right, so let me ask y'all this: what do you think is the proper amount of time for a movie or a show to be like, hey, it's been out long enough? You are, you basically at this point, you're done.
That depends. For a movie as big as Avengers, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I mean,
because you gotta get past the whole sold out theater phase.
That's a good point.
And you gotta give at least 2 weekends.
That's a really good point. I mean, I'm kind of more on the point of view that if I haven't seen something that everybody else has seen, as soon as somebody else starts to talk about it, I just need to walk away or get out or just don't scroll through that page or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm with you.
I purposely want, like, if let's, like, I'm a big Walking Dead fan, and if for some reason I had to DVR the show and couldn't watch it in real time, I won't even get on Facebook, right? Because I ain't even trying to see everybody's responses in real time and stuff. I just won't even be on social media until after I watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, there's personal responsibility in that too. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but why should my personal responsibility
I dig what? No, I'm not arguing against Brian in this. I dig what Brian's saying, and I think something like in game where it is something so like humongous,
it's culturally significant,
right? There should be a time that everybody disagrees. Like, we ain't gonna talk about it until after the box office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I shouldn't have to change my life because you can't keep your mouth shut.
Well, I mean, but then at the same time, it's like, well, you should get your tickets.
Right.
Shut up.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You just said it yourself. The theater's sold out all week.
I mean, but hey, I got tickets. I'm just saying.
You can't. I just can't donate that on a day I worked all day.
I mean, I understand. Trust me, I get it, because I think you're right. At least a week needs to go by. Period. I think that is the de facto. Like, I think with any show or anything, I think it should be at least a week.
I mean, even think about me, right? I mean, not only just work, but I got a little girl, and Danielle, she ain't even halfway interested. So it's like, the only thing I could do is, like, maybe after everybody goes to sleep, I can sneak out the house and go try and find the.
No, listen. You leave for 3 hours.
That ain't a look.
That ain't sneaking no more. You just left.
Yeah,
like he ran to Walmart or something.
So I mean,
yeah. So that's what I think. Just with the spoilers, and you can't expect everybody to do it. There are people that I expect on my list to talk about movies that I hadn't seen and spoil it, just because that's who they are. Yeah. It ain't like they're being mean. It's just that they go against this idea that they should have to wait for everybody else to talk about stuff. So there are people that I expect, and I either block them or I unfollow them for a while, or I try to ignore it. But most of the people, it's just a surprise. Like, I can't believe you just did that. That's so messed up. So
real quick, have any of me, Jason, and Brian, have any of y'all heard anything? Have you been spoiled of anything? I haven't yet, luckily. I've totally avoided it.
If you've made it this far, you're good.
I haven't heard anything. All I've heard, the fight was so epic. And then, like, I came across a YouTube clip of, like, a podcast, and I didn't know it was filmed, like, this weekend. And as soon as they did that, I was watching on TV. I muted it, and then I got my remote and I clicked away from it. That's all I heard.
Bro. Like you,
I
like
haven't been spoiled anything yet. Strangely,
if you've gotten this far, because the hype, like if you made it through basically Sunday, I think you're good now.
The most I heard is like, oh, when Thor came in, I said, oh, nope. That's all I know. But I expected Thor to come in, so I didn't need to hear nothing else. And
that goes back to my point earlier that no, I haven't had anything spoiled to me, but that's because as soon as something starts about it,
when I'm at work, I walk away.
That's what I'm saying. I'm out the conversation, or if I see something that I even see in game, like before I even watch it, a video, anything like, I'm just out.
I've stayed the hell off of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram ain't been bad, but Twitter.
Yeah, you know, and what's really bad about it too is that a lot of people are trying to really do like spoiler type not movies, but spoiler type videos and discussions because that's easy clicks, that's easy ad revenue. So that it's like there's more of an incentive to kind of strike while the iron's hot. Because if you wait because honestly, if you wait till next week, I don't see no one's going to care, but just nowhere nearly as much. Whereas right now everybody's on fire trying to get their viewpoint of how the movie actually went down, while everybody still is really, really enamored with it. I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see. I think the biggest thing though is I'm interested to see what, like, after the dust kind of settles, where this movie is going to fall.
So, financially?
No, I'm just saying, like, in terms of critical praise, because I think half of it is, and Sosa, you know, you probably know there's the things I'm mentioning. I would definitely say that this movie has a lot going on in it, but it's like, you know, when you get hit with all that sensory overload and all of these things come together, it's like, oh, okay, this has an emotional impact. But then when you kind of sit back and think about it, you're like, okay, well, where, like when you see it like a second time, you know, like where does it actually fall? Because, you know, like when you see something the first time, oh, this is great, and you see the second time, you kind of can, you know what's coming up. You kind of know how things will play out. You can kind of see all the little,
and then you start looking at other things. Like when we watched what was Infinity War. Okay, we watched it. It was amazing. Blah blah blah. We watched it a few times, and then we noticed that Bruce Banner was kind of sitting weird in the Hulkbuster. That's what you start noticing. The weird stuff.
It's like you notice stuff like that, and it's not like it takes away from the movie. But but even then, even with character dialogue, you're like, well, if something doesn't make sense, it starts to make less sense when you see it again, and then that can kind of change the way you feel about it. Like, so whenever people say they rank a movie as soon as they get out of it, I'm like, yeah, you haven't enough time to sit and think about it. Because, like, how many times do you eat something like this is the greatest meal I ever had, and then you really sit and like when you get home, like that was good, but it wasn't all I thought it was. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's part of the experience, though. Like that's the whole reason you in a theater with all that sound, with the popcorn in your hand, a big ass screen. I mean, that's part of the experience is to be like enamored with this experience right then and there in the moment.
Oh, I agree. I mean, and that definitely plays into it, but that just doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, sometimes, you know, when you have time to think about it or time passes, it just has a different context. Even if you're thinking about like watching a movie now versus watching, let's say Boys in the Hood, when you watched it 10 or so years ago, may have a completely different, you know, viewing of it because, you know, you've had different experiences, time has passed.
Yeah, you
can relate to that character arc differently than is if you watched it today. So I think the same thing kind of applies even with comic book movies. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like for a long time I thought Captain America the Winter Soldier was probably the better Marvel movie, and then once Civil War came out, I was like, I thought Civil War was good, but I thought Winter Soldier was still better. And then I watched, like, I think a couple of years later, like earlier, I want to say like the end of last year, I watched Civil War and Winter Soldier again, and by far Civil War to me is the superior movie, just because of all the things it did with the relationship between the characters. And it's like it's kind of had time to pass and think about, okay, well, leading up to where they're going now, it's like you just have a better understanding of the relationship and what they're trying to accomplish. So it just makes things different. It doesn't make it seem doesn't seem like a very rare would I say like I watched a movie a second time and I was like, yeah, I hate this, but it can't but it can happen, you know, and I think I don't think that's going to happen with this movie, but I think that, you know, like I went on Rotten Tomatoes and saw it's like a 97%, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely good. But would I put it there personally? I'm not sure because they're, you know, yeah.
Side note, I feel like I heard a lot of people kind of trash Captain Marvel and say it wasn't a good movie. I watched it yesterday or the day before, something like that, and I thought it was good.
I like Captain Marvel, but I think I liked everybody around Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she's horrible. I'm not gonna say she's horrible. She's very
wooden.
One-dimensional.
She plays the role very she's very strict in that role. Like I think she's on screen.
Like this. If you could take her out and replace her with somebody and still get the same effect, that's a bad thing. She did not own the role she was in. So something could happen. They could fire her and put somebody in that place or in that role, and it would be just fine. Nobody would be upset.
Maybe they could try Jessica Alba again. They did with Chris Evans.
No, leave Jessica Alba out of this. She's horrible.
Oh, you know what, man? You say
that. I'll play it.
Here's the thing, man. You say that, but I'm not gonna lie. Like Chris Evans, Chris Evans, like is basically no one's gonna be able to fill the role of Steve Rogers like Chris Evans had.
The only thing I liked in Fantastic Four was his role, and that's scary.
You know, and same thing with Robert Downey Jr. Like, nobody gonna be Iron Man again. What's his name? Hugh Jackman playing as Wolverine. It's gonna be hard to replace him.
Yeah, we were talking about that at work today.
And then like Professor X, like Patrick Stewart, he was like the perfect. He's like the perfect casting of that.
The dude off of Split does okay.
I mean, he does well, but he's not Patrick Stewart. Like Patrick Stewart is like that. Like if you could say who would be the perfect castings of characters, Patrick Stewart would be the perfect perfect Professor X. What's his name? Ryan Reynolds is perfect as Deadpool.
Oh,
Robert Downey Jr. is basically Iron Man.
Tony Stark,
yeah. Chris Evans is Captain America. Like it's just there have been a real like even though I know the quality, you know, we're talking about Marvel,
Jeremy Renner and Hawkeye. Versus, just kidding.
I mean,
Hawkeye. Who cares?
So right now, to be honest with you, the only person that I know of in the Marvel universe currently that's interchangeable is Captain Marvel because she did not own that role.
But we have to. But I'm gonna be honest, man.
I mean, what would she have had to do for you to think she owned that role, though?
I haven't seen.
I don't know. Same thing. Whatever Robert Downey Jr. did in Iron Man 1. So whatever Chris Evans did in Captain America.
The only thing that they did,
whatever
in multiple movies.
I don't think. Yeah, and I'm with Jason there because I don't think because personally, like I didn't care for the first Captain America movie.
Right.
Like I thought it was just okay. And then Winter Soldier came out. Well, excuse me. Then the Avengers came out, and then Winter Soldier came out, and it was like, okay, this dude's got it. And
she's in multiple movies. She's in Endgame. She's replaceable.
She's in Endgame, and you have to see the movie before I make it.
You ain't seen Endgame, right?
It doesn't matter. You just said she had to be in multiple movies. Regardless if I saw it, she can be replaceable. I saw her in that unicorn movie. She's plastic.
You saw her in the unicorn movie.
My comment was she would have that all of those.
No, she is a plastic actress. She is replaceable. She's not. She has no personality.
How is she replaceable? We're not talking about her movie. We're not talking about her playing a certain character. We're talking.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about her as an actress. We're talking about her
as a character.
Her as Captain Marvel. She's replaceable. Anybody can play Captain Marvel up to this point.
But anybody could have played any of those roles. My point is the reason that all of those other roles have.
I don't. Am I talking over?
I haven't seen it, so I have no opinion.
What I'm trying to say is like the reason Tony Stark is irreplaceable to you is because Tony Stark has been in movie after movie after movie.
Tony Stark was irreplaceable for Captain from part 1 to me.
Huh?
I would have to
When I saw part one, I was like, they got the right guy.
All right, but see, the thing is, there are several things that go into that, because Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. working together is one thing. What's his name? Robert Downey Jr. A lot of the things that are based on his portrayal of Tony Stark, he actually took those from his own internal struggles, because he was actually, like, I don't want to say like blackballed from Hollywood, but pretty much like Jon Favreau had to plea to get him to get Disney to say, or Marvel, excuse me, to say, hey, this is the guy we need for this part. So it's like he put everything he had into that role. And I'll have to honestly say, like, Chris Hemsworth, when he first played Thor, I was like, okay, this works. Chris Evans, however, for me, when I first saw Captain America, I was like, yeah, I mean, he did all right, but it wasn't until Avengers, or wasn't really until Winter Soldier, when I think it cemented him in that role, because I think that's when he finally got it. So I think, to Jason's point, is that Captain Marvel, I think we just need to see more of her. Now, I'll have to say this, is that Captain Marvel it would have to be in another movie where she's kind of more of the spotlight character, because, like, I would have to honestly say that, yeah, in the movie, in her own movie, she was actually kind of wooden, but I think she played really well off of Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. I think she did really well with Marie Rambeau, playing, against that character. I think she did really well against other characters. Just when she was by herself, it was like watching a popsicle stick with a mouth, just saying whatever lines needed to be said at the time.
Yeah,
I thought her interaction with Fury was actually one of the best parts of the movie.
Oh yeah, hands down, that was great.
Right, and you see Fury is like, he's such a different role, right? Because this is before everything, right? This is before he wakes up his mind on what all's out there, right?
Right.
So he's just such a different person.
Men in Black 1.
What? How you, like, you're really confusing these realities.
I'm saying it's like Men in Black 1 when they first got their roles and they found out what they were going to be doing. I'm just saying it's like Men in Black 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. All right.
You're good, Jay.
I mean, I'm interested. I'm still holding out for whatever comes next with her. I will say that.
Right.
And when you see Endgame, I'll give my comments on her performance at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I mean, it could very well be that you're right, and she's interchangeable. But my point is, we can't come to that until at least 3 movies in the same row.
Right. Yeah, I'd have to say I'd like to give her a chance. I would like to. Now, but here's the reality of it, though. Captain Marvel made close to $1 billion worldwide already. So if in all honesty,
she got a couple more.
I was like, yeah, she got about 2 more movies in her. So
they're already planning on who her next villain is going to be. I saw something about it. Well, but I'm not familiar with the whole Captain Marvel universe or Captain Marvel world, so I don't know any of her villains or any of her.
Just needs to be Ronin. She already said she was coming up there to handle stuff.
I mean, I'm interested to see what they do with her, because in all honesty, I think she's probably the weakest origin story out of all the Marvel movies. I will say that. And the only reason why I think that way is because this probably might go towards Brian's argument, but I feel this way, the same way I felt about Captain America. You could basically sum up their entire character arc in 30 seconds, which is exactly what they did with Captain America in the first Avengers movie. They gave you everything you needed to know in that one montage sequence, and you were good. Like, you did not have to watch that movie, except to know where the Tesseract or the Space Stone came from. That's really about all Captain America did for you. So, I mean, y'all need to hurry up and see this movie, man. I'm tired of talking.
We'll see it. I see it before next show probably. Hopefully. I'm gonna try.
It's fake.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like, yeah, man, I missed it. I'm sorry, y'all have to wait another week. I'm like, man, we ain't You just need to mute you. We're just gonna mute.
I'm like, well, I'll just sit this one out then.
Right.
Gonna be Sosa and Rich. Just talking.
Hey man.
But yeah, some people are being very considerate, and I do appreciate their candor.
I'm trying, man. I am really trying.
I know. It's a 3-hour movie. How can you not talk about anything in a 3-hour movie?
Easy, you don't.
Yeah.
That's really all you can do, man. I mean, the only things if the only thing someone asks me a question is like, what's the best time to go to the bathroom if I have to, and I can give you 1 point. But beyond that, though, in which there's a lot of stuff going on in that movie, and yeah, it's good.
Cool. Hey, is there any truth behind the whole Marvel versus X-Men movie coming out?
How you mean?
Like, there's rumors about a Marvel versus the X-Men movie coming out.
I mean,
the Avengers versus X-Men. Oh, wait. If this is part of the movie, I don't want to know nothing.
No, it's not part of the movie, but I basically I would be seriously surprised.
I mean, but why?
What like a Marvel versus X-Men movie?
Yeah, why?
See the movie and you'll find out why. I mean, I hate to say it.
Man, I hate this. All right, man, I'm out.
The only reason why here's the reason, and let me say this is because I'm not going to say it's not a spoiler at all, but the way that the end credit sequence worked, it is definitely an end to an era, and I will leave that there.
All right, so anybody had any other things they want to talk about here?
Oh, I can talk now because I ain't seen none of that shit.
Yeah, damn.
I hadn't seen Captain Marvel. I had no desire.
I agree. I didn't either. I'm just saying that, and maybe that's why I feel that it was actually way better than I thought it was going to be because I had lower expectations.
You did, yeah.
But
lower expectations.
But I thought it was a damn good movie.
It's good. Like I think people who complain about and say it's bad, I'm like, y'all are really just y'all are triggered.
It wasn't a bad movie. I just felt like I don't know. I don't like her mannerism.
All I was like, if there's stuff that people thought would trigger them in Captain Marvel, just wait.
All right, like I said, I'm out. Y'all be easy.
I ain't gonna say nothing else. I was honestly gonna say nothing else. It's just y'all need to go see this damn movie. That's all I got to say.
Oh, so we're talking about NFL draft. Got it.
Go for it. Then I'll be quiet for the next like 20 minutes.
No, all I was gonna say is I just wanted to touch on that real quick. I don't know if anybody was watching that night, but I saw when the Giants, who everybody thought was going to draft Ohio State QB Dwayne Haskins, drafted a quarterback from Duke that had been on nobody's top 5 list. Drafted him at number 6.
Turned him into a superstar.
If it does happen, he's the hardest worker of all time. But I don't know. It just shows that how that team got rid of Odell, who honestly was putting asses in the seats because there wasn't shit going on there until they got Saquon Barkley, their running back. Because they need to put him out the pasture like Cujo. Like it's bad. Like he can't throw for shit no more.
I can't talk because we need to fuck around.
Oh yeah. But it just bothers me because Daniel Jones goes to Duke. I'm a title. He not goes. He played quarterback at Duke. Duke's head coach is David Cutcliffe. David Cutcliffe was a coach to Peyton Manning at Tennessee. Also during the summers, Peyton Manning, Cooper Manning, a lot of quarterbacks, even Eli, go do a camp for David Cutcliffe. So pretty much they took advice, and we know either from Archie Manning, which is Peyton Manning's and Eli Manning's dad, or Eli himself, to draft this guy. Yeah, I get it, but it just made no sense. It made 0 sense. for a big market team to me, and it just proves like NFL go to NFL. Nick Bosa got drafted in San Francisco out of all places.
Yeah,
that job. NFL go to NFL. NFL is so out of touch with culture, and I just see the NBA just flourishing with great games the past couple weeks. So I think they get what they deserve right now.
And Nick Bosa's the one that had to take all his stuff off his Twitter, right?
Yeah, he's the piece of shit. He's the one, as a matter of fact, he left Ohio State early. Didn't even play in the bowl game to prepare for the NFL. Like, just bounced on his team. I was like, that's kind of weird. Mad weird. But, yeah, we see who he is.
Leland Farrell went to the Raiders. Devon White, Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah. Corey Miller's son got drafted by the Panthers.
Yeah.
Will Grier, the quarterback that played at Florida, then West Virginia, got drafted by the Panthers. Who else got drafted by Panthers? Offensive lineman from Carolina. Not Pharaoh. What's his name? Debo got drafted by the 49ers. Trying to think who else am I missing?
Panthers drafted a quarterback too.
They need to. Not like say he needs to start, but they need a backup. And Will is mobile and can throw. Because if Cam don't quit throwing off his back foot, overexerting his damn arm, ain't gonna be too many more years for him.
Did we get rid of what was his name? Hinkie? Was that his name? What's our backup?
Panthers.
Oh. When you said that, I was thinking Winky. I'm like, Winky retired years ago. Let me look. I'm about to say he was quarterback in 2001, my dude. I got you.
Panthers got Greg Little.
Taylor Hinkie. Yeah, nah, he's still there. Kyle Allen, Will Grier, Taylor Hinkie. Yeah. He played at Old Dominion. That just proves another point. How the hell is Kaepernick not in the league? I didn't even know Old Dominion had football. I knew they had basketball. I'm not even trying to crack a joke. I'm dead the hell serious. That's amazing. Oh, yeah. Evander Holyfield's son got signed by the Panthers. He didn't get drafted, but he got signed.
Okay.
That's pretty interesting.
Both our second and third string QB showed out last season.
Yeah,
at certain points.
So
it was interesting to me that we drafted a core QB when we had when both of our, our second, our 2 and our 3 showed out at some point last season.
Yeah, I'm still.
Hey, what does
we got shit?
What does compensatory mean?
Huh?
What does compensatory mean?
That means let's say they made like a trade or something during the year for draft picks. So that's the draft pick that they randomly got through a trade.
Oh, okay.
Or they earned a draft pick through either something happening or injuries. They earned a draft pick. That's how it normally works. Yep. Yeah, but it was interesting. Very interesting.
So,
okay. All right, Jay, you got to go.
I'm out. Y'all be easy. See y'all on the next one, unless y'all talking in game and I ain't seen it yet.
Well, that's your fault at this point. We put up the rules.
Yeah, man. That'll be 2 weekends, so it's like it's your fault now. Thanos don't care about your feelings.
Thanos don't care about your feelings.
Oh yeah, I mean he wiped out half of the world, so I guess he don't really care about anything.
I was about to say, like, he pushed his own kid into a pit. He does not care.
Yeah.
He gives zero.
I ain't gonna front. Yeah, that fucked me up when I watched that goddamn movie. I was
like, wait.
Oh damn! So I guess that do beat Snoop for the baddest villain.
I was like, when y'all said that, I was like, I don't know, man.
I forgot. You're right.
He threw his daughter off a cliff.
Unless that wasn't Baby Boy's son and it was actually Snoop's son, and then they're tied.
Oh yeah, you got a good point.
Well, I mean, Gamora really wasn't his daughter.
That's true. He basically stole her like a lost puppy.
Yeah.
Real talk. But I mean, I'd be scared of Thanos. I'd whoop Snoop's ass. Just saying.
Oh man.
All right. On that note, Snoop, I ain't got no problems with you, but y'all be easy.
All right, man.
Fuck your fort.
Little nigga. Little nigga.
All right. Okay. Let's pick up one that you said. What is the sophomore curse?
Oh,
Jinx.
sophomore curse. I was just talking about like people put out a second album and it just thuds.
That's almost after.
Oh, has anybody avoided that?
Huh?
Outcast.
That would have been AT Aliens, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. I'm like,
Yep.
I ain't too old to forget which one it was. All right.
Oh no, you're right.
All
Yeah.
right. So
That's
cool.
That almost applies to any form of media, though.
Yeah, I must have meant hip hop because that's been all
Yeah,
around.
no. I know what you're saying, but yeah. that could almost.
But like who has been like, let's say, like Nas, Jay-Z, like Nas, it was written. That was a pretty good album. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, it had to Fire Looter World. And honestly, that made him pop commercially. So
Correct,
yeah. Jay-Z would have been In My Lifetime, right?
I think so.
I like that CD. Like, I like that CD a lot. I like it better than Hard Knock Life, personally.
I actually think Goody Mob's second album was better than the first one almost.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go see. That's Soulful? No, that's not
Soulful was the first one, which is epic now. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they had more easier listening on the second album, or
Still Standing.
easier digesting songs. Yeah, still
standing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sky High.
Oh yeah.
I forgot. Yeah. Brian hit,
so I
hit
think
that one
they
out the park.
actually improved with the second album.
Beautiful Skin.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, you hit that one out of the park. I forgot. Yeah, because I put that there this morning before I went to work, and I was like, I can't remember what sparked it. But I said, let me type it in before I forgot. And I'm happy I did. But like, I was thinking Tribe Called Quest. Shit, their second one is Low End Theory. To me, that's their best album. But
where does Midnight Marauders fall?
That's number 3.
That's number 3.
Yeah, People's Instinctive Travels is first, and then it's Low End Theory, then it's Midnight Marauders. Yeah, I was just thinking, trying to think like what else is out there. So you got that, you got what's DMX? I was thinking of DMX. DMX put out an album in the same year, didn't he?
Okay, the first one was It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Yeah.
The second one, DMX. Oh, what was the second one?
Yeah, we would. I was about to say if Nick's still damn listening, I know his ass will know.
Flesh of My Flesh.
Oh yeah, Nick's still listening. Yeah. He said T.I.'s album was trap music. Yeah,
I was gonna say T.I.
trap music was greatness. Yeah. DMX, Blood of My Blood. He thinks. Yeah, that should be right. Yeah. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
And that was in the same year.
Yeah, bro. Man, damn. Now we gotta find one.
Yeah, May of '98. In December of '98.
Yeah, I remember. Damn. I don't know how I remember like it was yesterday. Yeah, it was that close. I'm trying to think like big artists. I mean, we ain't gonna count people who fell off because that mean it would have been sophomore. But who like redeemed themselves? Like, you know, it's one for me. Like, I did not like not Graduation. I love Graduation. Late Registration that much when it came out, but it grew on me later in life. He asked me, what he remember going with him to Manifest for T.I.'s second album. Hell yeah, I remember that. I wasn't a T.I. fan then. I'm like, I want to meet that nigga. And then like 6 months later, I was going to fuck that CD. I was like, damn it, I could have had the CD signed. I remember that shit. Yeah, trap music was one of my favorite CDs in college. Like, that's one I bumped the most. That, College Dropout, shit, some other stuff too. Well, of course, The Listening and all that type of shit.
Yeah, I was about to say because
the listening would have been the first, and then the second one would have been the Minstrel Show and shit. Yeah. That's classic. Yeah, man. Like, anybody got one? Like, I was thinking for a good artist, like who redeemed themselves maybe in the third after they fell the fuck off in the second a little bit.
Shit. I think so Redman did the what? Then he did Muddy Waters.
Oh, well,
Muddy Waters was fucking epic to me. That's one of my favorite.
So that's already thrown out.
Now he did Docs the Name was the third album, which had the like cartoony cover.
And I did not like
very
that
commercial.
much.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what came out after that. He had one after that, but I think after he did Docs the Name, he kind of realized he was straying and went back to what he knew.
See, I thought about Method Man because I didn't like Tikal 2000. Actually, but it's hard for me to add it because I guess he had so much work before it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Hey, listen,
because I went to Method Man.
Meth has never carried an album.
I've said this a while ago. I agree, and I love him as an MC.
Oh, I agree.
But,
so he might carry a
solo album.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about, like I said, let's look at, because I mean you're talking about redeeming themselves.
Yeah, like who like the hell's gonna rough my nigga, and then they bounce back. I'm trying to think, like, well, shit, Ghostface was on a 5-6 album run.
Hold on a second, man. I'm looking. I am literally looking at Ghostface discography right now. Iron Man, Supreme Clientele, Bulletproof Wallets,
Pre-Tony album,
Fish, Morefish. It's
Big
like
Go Rehab. Yeah,
he was just killing them over and over again.
That nigga went 5 for 5 out the gate. Morefish is a toss up for people, but
agreed.
Scale is hard as shit.
Yeah,
Pretty Tony album is what literally went. Def Jam went. Wait a minute now. He got something. Because that was his second Def Jam album.
Mm-hmm.
No. Pretty Tony was his first Def Jam album. He was on Epic before that, so that's technically Sony. Okay.
So he's low-key consistent.
And now Ghost, like even the stuff that he's still putting out, man, his albums are good. Mm-hmm. Like I listened to 12 Reasons to Die. It's like basically the story album. That's actually pretty solid. Yeah, you check.
Yeah, but I don't know anybody who I'd buy like the first and the third album and leave the second one alone.
Far Side even had a good second album. I keep going back to them because the Running was on that. Can't keep running away. I forgot about that. Damn.
Hold on a second. Wait, let me hold on. Let me see. Let me think about this.
I was thinking like it's hard to have a thud and bounce back because people will give up on you. And that was before the microwave society.
Let's see. I was going to
jump R&B out here.
You know what I was thinking about just now? Because I really like their last album.
Who's that?
Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas' second album would have been, it had to been one of their pop things because Joyce and Jam would have been would that have been their first? I don't know.
Let's look.
Because they have been around for a while. Because they, I don't know if Black Eyed Peas was signed to Eazy-E, but I know whatchamacallit was signed to Eazy-E. Will.i.am was at one point.
Joints and Jam was on their very first album.
So that was their first. I wasn't confirming that or not because they could have easily did something before that.
Yeah.
So Bridging the Gap was.
That's in 2000.
Well, I could say it would be them. That would be one. I mean, not to say I like their music after that, but
right. It wasn't like, well, I mean, depends on who depends on how
you listen to
as an artist.
Let's be honest with you. Like a hip hop person might have liked it, but that wasn't moving the needle to keep them signed.
Right.
Unless it would have been like on Loud Records or some shit back then.
Masters of the Sun is a good album. Like legitimately a good album.
I've heard that was. You don't like Ella Funk?
The way you said it just made it lame.
I'm good, fam.
You sure?
I'm good, fam.
Well, what about NERD?
Huh.
I was like, now we scraping because it's like I just don't know of many that would have. Because NERD first one was good. The second one was that would have been that would have been, I don't know if Brian used to Fly or Die. It did well, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't listen to that CD that much. Like I listened to it for like a week and I was like, I'm good.
But that she wants to move on it though.
But that's it.
Agreed.
It came and went. And honestly, Seeing Sounds was hard as shit. Really? I used to play the fuck out of Seeing Sounds. Yeah.
I haven't listened to that one. I'm gonna have to go make that a part of the work.
That's the one is like yeah, that had like shit that used to play in commercials and like used to bang. Yeah. I don't know. I was trying to think. This has to be something out there.
I can't think of
Hold on.
It's like a challenge.
Yeah, I think I got one here.
J. Cole. I thought his first album was very so-so. Okay, let me look up J. Cole. I will say I was not a J. Cole fan at first, so I could easily say that he's grown with time for me. So that actually might Cole World. Yeah, I actually, since he said that, he's right. I did not like that one. Can't get enough. That's the one with Trey Songz. Can't get enough. Can't get enough. Drake. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect was all right, but it was still weird. And then Born Sinner. He got it. That's good.
Who was that?
Did y'all like
his best album?
Into the Wu-Tang more than y'all did Wu-Tang Forever?
And
Wu-Tang Forever was a double album, so
it was, but Enter the Wu-Tang was like wait, Enter the Wu-Tang? You talking about 30? Oh, you're just saying 36.
No, Enter the Wu-Tang was the first album. That's 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
And
I like
Forever
36 better, but I didn't start getting into it hard till I got older though. Like probably my freshman year at high school, I started listening to 36 Chambers more, which was before Wu-Tang Forever came out. So I started liking that album. Wu-Tang Forever was okay, but it wasn't enough songs to make me like it, even though it spread across 2 albums.
And that was the advanced DVDs.
Oh yeah, you plug it in, you can see the videos. God damn it, Leo. Yeah, that is actually a good one.
They were trying to stop people from bootlegging DVDs.
Yeah. Drake would actually be one since he said that because everybody was anticipating. Yeah, listen. Everybody was anticipating Drake album. Like that was the most anticipated like debut because of all those mixtapes he dropped for so long. And then when it came out, I still remember Thank Me Later came out and everybody went,
"What's this?
Not to say what is this like? That's it. Like you put up all this dope original sound of music, and it was kind of like had that fancy song, Fireworks with Alicia Keys. That threw me off. Find Your Love, that threw me off. Then he had that Over song. That was just a commercial song. And then Take Care came out, and it was kind of like, oh, this is like a concept album. Like he had a song with Rihanna, which is Take Care. It's the title track, and it had a freaking sample of Gil Scott-Heron on it. That's what actually got me interested. I said, whoa, how the fuck he flipped this song? And then after that, it's kind of started his run. Because after his first album, people were like, I don't know about this nigga. He put out good mixtapes, and then his album came out, and it's like, oh, whatever. That's why he came out with an album 1 year later. Like, it was quick. Everything else been like 2 or 3 years.
I can't think of anybody else right now, man.
J. Cole was a good one. J. Cole was actually a good one.
When you said mixtapes and albums, I was like, what about Wayne?
Ooh, Wayne. Did you listen to Wayne from the beginning, Brian? Like Wayne in the early beginning, like Hot Boys Wayne?
Yeah, I didn't buy his stuff though.
No, I understand. I couldn't. Yeah. Well, I was biased. I just didn't like. I liked Cash Money, but I didn't really buy the CDs. Like, his sophomore would have been Lights Out, which would have had. Ooh, that ain't much on there. There ain't much on there, bro. What's funny is everybody. That was our senior year of high school, Rich.
Right.
Go ahead.
I've listened to Dedication, the Carter, all the Carters except like one.
Yeah.
I'm Not a Human Being. I like his mixtapes. I like his mixtapes more than I do his album.
Now that's something I will fully stand behind. I agree.
Totally agree there.
Yeah, that's just like I'm looking at this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, his first 3 albums I didn't really care about, but then right after 500 Degrees, but after his 3rd album, that's when those mixtapes started dropping. You kind of find them on like your Lime Wires and shit, and you're like, okay. And then the Carter came out, and that's when he started to really get a buzz.
He has 12 studio albums, 25 mixtapes, 3 compilation albums, and 2 EPs.
Yeah, a lot of that shit gets lost in my mind. I can remember Dedications, and then what was the other ones he had? Dedications. Oh fuck! What were the other names?
Dedication 2, of course. I Am Not a Human Being.
Yeah. What was the other ones? I'm about to scroll up. I'm mad they just got this. Yeah.
No Ceilings was dope. I like No Ceilings.
Oh, here it is. It says mixtapes. Remember the Squad Up in 02? Yep, all those Squad Ups used to drop. I used to listen to the fuck out of them Squad Ups.
Yeah.
The Drought.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to remember. The Droughts. Yep. The Droughts were good too. Yep. Man. Yeah, man.
I guess it's hard. I mean, most of the time when when MCs, I guess when rappers get signed or singers or whatever, they come up with 3 album deals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they put all their dope stuff in the second one. They're like, holy shit, what do I do for a part 2?
Yeah.
Better make something up.
So what we're figuring out, man, if you slam dunk and airball a second, ain't much coming back.
No.
You gotta be a rapping ass rapper.
But to be honest with you, not these kids listening to everything and don't really give a damn about creativity and rhyme scheme, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
As long as you're talking about stuff that they can't afford.
We're in the end game now.
I will say this, like this generation, and I figured out a lot of the rappers I think that are in like this current generation, they're a little bit older. So that's probably why I like them. There's some people that shine through it. And what's funny is a lot of them like cater to them, but then it's like, yo, you the diamond in the rough. Like you dropping gems, and I hope the kids pick up on it. Like I was listening to Schoolboy Q beforehand. He drops gems, and yet it's West Coast, but you could tell he liked East Coast music. And I think that's why I like it, because I don't like super West Coast music. I get confused. I'm like, all right, I'm kind of out. Yeah, I'm out. But him, I can listen to Schoolboy, any album, anything, all day. Because he, for some reason, he can pick a beat that got a hard ass 808 and guitar on it. It's like, this nigga know what he doing.
Oh, all right, guys. I think we're done.
Done. Put a fork in us.
All right. Now, if you want to reach us, if you want to get in contact with us, all of our social media handles are on our social media websites. We also broadcast the show's audio on SoundCloud, iTunes, Podbean,
Google Play Music.
Did I miss one?
No. Do you still have this might be random. Might as well say it on here. You still have a Spotify account?
I have one. I have a Spotify account, yes.
Oh, we should try to be on there. Somebody asked me the other day, you on Spotify? I said no.
I'll look into it. See how much it costs.
Yeah, that's why I did not research that. Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, we're here every Monday around 10 o'clock. So please don't hesitate to allow us to keep you company. And we will see you next Monday. Peace.
See that movie.